Bitcoin's legendary Traders Dynamic Index just had a major rejection right here, with the red line getting rejected from the blue line. Is Bitcoin in big trouble? We are about to break it down. If you're new here, welcome in. My name is Steve. On this channel, we don't take any paid ads, no paid sponsorships, no paid affiliate links down below. What do we do instead? We talk about the cold, hard facts in the charts that actually help you. The only thing I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button, put a thumbs up on this video, and let's jump straight into it. What we have is the Bitcoin US dollar index, and today we're on the monthly chart. We have price action above. In the middle of our screen, we have the rank correlation index. And at the bottom of our screen, we have the traders dynamic index. If you combine these indexes together, you will be able to correctly predict the biggest moves in Bitcoin based on just pure facts and what we've done in every single prior cycle. This will help you remain level-headed. It will remove a lot of the guesswork, and you can act more on precision and accuracy instead of just entering a trade and hoping for the best and eventually having that trade go against you, and then you trying to course correct and you end up in a big, deep, dark hole, which is purely emotion-driven. This would be fact-driven, right? So let's get into it. And by the way, at the end of the video, I'm going to give one of the biggest tips to my success, and we're going to talk about minimalism and how it led me to start doing laundry out of a trash can in a hostel. That story coming later. But let's get back to the Traders Dynamic Index. What you can see right in front of your eyes is we were on a course to potentially have this red line cross the blue. And if you don't know what that means when the red line crosses the blue, it's monumental. It's historic. It doesn't happen very often. And when it does, there's ridiculous fireworks. But we avoided that. And again, this is something that we thought was going to happen because it was just too early in our cycles to have kind of a parabolic phase in the midst of our bull run as we are currently in phase 2 of the bull. But what does this mean for Bitcoin? Is this huge trouble ahead? Is this something a little bit deeper? Is there a bigger problem that's brewing? Something that people are not ready for? Well, let's break it down. Right? In the middle of our screen, the rank correlation index, what we have after a brand new month is further evidence that we are in phase 2 of the bull. Keep in mind, to enter phase 2 of the bull, we needed two things to be true. Number one, we needed our traders dynamic index to have this red line cross the orange. Now, let me break down these indexes so that you better understand. Basically, this index, or the rank correlation index, you can think of these as three moving averages. And when you have moving averages on any chart, you want to look at how they interact with each other and against each other, right? The convergence, divergence of these three moving averages. You want to look at distinct crosses of these moving averages. For example, case in point, whenever you have this red line and the rank correlation index cross above the green, we're in a bull run, a full out bull run. And whenever this red line crosses back below the blue, the market has topped. Case in point, market top here. Red line crossing the blue here, market top. So you can look at these moving averages and how they interact with each other. It will lead you into a fact-based system which you could trade and invest and make way more money than an emotion-based system, where generally you're in an emotion-based system. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. You watch people on YouTube and you're like, oh my God, I think they said to buy, I'm gonna buy. And hey, let's hope for the best. And then the trade goes the opposite way and you're like, man, I better make that up with the next trade. I know what I'm doing. I heard this and I heard that. I'm gonna make this trade. And that goes against you and you're in this hole. And it's emotion driven based on these people on YouTube that you think know what the hell they're talking about, or you think that they said buy or sell, and then you just act on that, as opposed to a fact-based system where you're like, I will sell Bitcoin when this red line crosses the blue because it's likely to be at the market top. And I will buy Bitcoin when this red line in the Traders Dynamic Index crosses above the green because that's the start of the bull run. So you would have bought here at the start of this bull run, you would have bought here at the start of this bull run, and you would have bought recently back in January of last year when we told you that we had started our new bull run. You would have bought here. So again, just using a fact-based system far outweighs an emotional-based system, right? I want you to switch over, whether you learn from me or you learn from somebody else. That's why I built the courses. That's why I built the indicators, to take the guesswork out of it. By the way, speaking of indicators, I have been in the lab for months developing what is easily going to be my best indicator yet. It's going to be when to take profits in this bull run that we're in now, when to time the market top, when to take profits, how to maximize your money. That's going to be a game changer. It's not ready yet. I got to be in the lab for some more time, but just wanted to make that announcement. Now, what I want to say about this is what you have to be is discipline. If you follow this red line and you understand we are about to cross the blue, that would have been monumental. When have we done it before? Well, we did it here back in 2020. When this red line crossed the blue, that was here. That was the historic phase of the bull run. This phase of the bull run is called the blow off top. Okay? That's when the market just goes absolutely parabolic and we have a blow off top. Okay? So you can see the parabolic rise here. It happened precisely when our red line crossed above here. Now, we talked about the rank correlation index. You want to think of it like a couple different moving averages, convergence, divergence, how they interact when they cross. What I want you to think about the trader's dynamic index, I want you to think about it like Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands, if you're not familiar with them, a lot of my students have taken my Bollinger Band course, but think of the Bollinger Bands as you have the top of our channel, which is the blue line on the top. It's kind of like riding a wave. You have this blue line at the bottom wave. And what you have is this orange line. The orange line is our median line. The orange line is in between the top and the bottom. Okay? And then you have our fast line, which is the red line. When we look at the trader's dynamic index, we're just looking at this red line and how it interacts with the top, the bottom, and the middle. All right? So you have this green line and the red line, which acts as our fast moving averages. And then we just have these three components. And you're just looking about how they interact with each other, right? So if we're looking at this red line, crossing this blue line, we know it happened here. We know that that was our parabolic top, our blow-off top. We also know that it happened back here, right? At this parabolic top. So we know that anytime this red line crosses the blue line, it's the parabolic blow-off top. And we mentioned last month how we were getting very, very close to crossing, and it looked like it was going to cross, but I came out and said, it's just not likely to cross. It might look like it right now, but we're not at that phase in the cycle. We're not there. And here we are a month later, we're not there. The facts have come clear in the charts. We're not going to cross. We have this blue line crossing back up, and we have this red line going sideways. So it's not likely to cross this month. It's also not likely to cross next month, but more to come on that. So we avoided this kind of blow off top, which is good for us. We still need to build structure. If we had a blow off top now at this phase in the cycle without completing phase 2 and without building the proper structure that we need for a healthy bull run, it would have been a disaster regardless. So it's better for Bitcoin that we avoided it. I wanted to get into one of the biggest tips for me, which may resonate very deeply with you, something that I learned to deal with in life that brings me more happiness and clarity and joy. I want to share it with you. So I came out of college. I landed what I thought was my dream job in corporate America, and I started collecting stuff. As a good little American boy, I was living in the center city of Philadelphia, and I had a really nice apartment with a whole bunch of stuff that was just, basically collecting dust. I had all sorts of clothes, all sorts of dress stuff to go to work, a bunch of crap, basically. And I realized that life wasn't for me. And I realized I would never work for somebody else my entire life. Yes, I was like 25, 26 at the time, but I was very clear. I don't want to work for anybody else, and I want to go travel the world. So I sold everything that I had or donated it, everything. And I left on an airplane with a backpack on my back, a travel backpack. So it was me and a backpack. So I went from this apartment full of crap that was collecting dust to a backpack, right? So I was living the minimalist life. All right. And it felt so cool. I literally brought one pair of shorts with me, one pair of pants with me, one pair of shoes with me. Do you catch a trend here? Everything was one hoodie with me. And I just left. And I didn't know where I was going, but I just knew I wanted to travel for a year. I have not been off of that trip since then. We're more than 11 years in of me traveling the world. I haven't left that trip. I thought it would be gone 1 year. It turned into a very long trip. I've been very blessed and fortunate. I've traveled to 70 countries. I've traveled a ton of it with my wife the past 10 years. And here's what I've learned. Having that minimalist lifestyle, this is something we do to this day as a family, you know, with my son, with my wife. Obviously, I don't talk much about this, but I would say that we are in a very healthy financial situation. I don't want to go into details about my personal life, but I would call it, you know, a dream come true, right? To this day, whenever I buy something new, we will donate. If I buy a new shirt, I will donate a shirt. If I buy a new pair of shoes, I will donate a pair of shoes. My wife is the same. My kid is the same. If we get a new toy, we donate another toy. That's how we operate. It causes so much happiness, not just to us, but whoever we're donating to. It's like, holy crap, this thing is really cool, right? There's so much joy about it. But it came from this, right? I was traveling the world, and this was when I was traveling by myself for like a year and a half. And I lived so far below my means that it wasn't funny, okay? Find me somebody with 6 figures in the bank who is doing laundry out of a trash can in a hostel. Find me somebody who would even live in a hostel with significant cash in the bank. Find me anybody. I don't think you'll be able to find anybody. I have a different mindset. I always wanted to live way below my means, and nothing impacted my happiness. So I was in this hostel in Australia, in Melbourne, and I was living at this place that was really cheap. And I wanted to be even more frugal than that. Yes, I had substantial cash in the bank, but I didn't care. I wanted to live like I was completely broke, because I knew each time I did laundry out of the trash can in the shower, by the way, I would add X amount of days or weeks to my trip, to my dream trip of traveling around the world completely free. That's what I was focused on. How can I add more time to my trip? I knew that if I did X, Y, and Z, it would add a month of me traveling the world freely with no rules. I make the rules. That's the life I wanted. It's not for everybody, but I was doing laundry in the shower. I would go into the shower. I would empty the trash can. I would clean out the trash can. I would people would leave like shampoo tubes, because it's a hostel. Every couple days, people are leaving. They would leave all of their stuff there. I would collect all that, and that was my laundry detergent, was the leftover shampoo in the bottle, right? I also had a friendship with the cleaning lady at the hostel. She was directed to throw away all of the excess food when people left the hostel. If you've ever stayed at a hostel, people will buy like, you know, pasta and dried things, cans, and they would keep it in their little locker. And then when they left, they would empty out the locker. The cleaning lady would just throw all this food away. Not food that they had been eating. It's like, you know, pasta that's in a package, you know, canned food, you know, olive oil, salt, pepper, boom, 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 boom. I collected all that, and I was eating for free for the whole time at the hostel. So I would do these things that were so unorthodox. And by the way, find any human that had stacks of cash in the bank that was living this way. I guarantee if you were able to find somebody, which you probably won't be, I bet they're highly successful today. I'll bet all of my money on it, because that's discipline. It takes discipline to become successful. If you don't have discipline, you will never become successful. But if you have it, holy crap, sky's the limit. What you can do with discipline will blow your mind. But it's that idea of having less stuff, living that minimalistic lifestyle, and really setting yourself up for the future by living far below your means. That's what it's about. I don't suggest doing laundry in the shower of a hostel out of a trash can, but hey, it's a memory, and it's something that I've told my son about in detail, and something that I'm proud of, that I lived through that, and I was able to find extreme happiness in that situation. Money just makes you more of who you already are. If you already had that discipline and you're already giving back and you're already doing things for the community, you're just going to do way more of that with money. If you're in a situation in your life where you're depressed and you're miserable and you're why me and boom, 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 you get more money, you're just going to be more of that, period. So I want you to take this and think about how you can impact your life with living minimalistically and living way below your means, and how you can introduce that into your life. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs. This bull run is our road to 500,000 subscribers, but I need your help. Today, tell one person about our YouTube channel, how we spit facts, go against the herd, take no paid sponsorships of any kind. Road to 500,000, let's go.